G'day guys, today's the day that we box this TC log that we bought to the farm a week ago. So I was thinking of doing an instructional tutorial on how to do a log transfer, but there's no real point as every log is different and they all present differently and have different challenges. The best advice that I can give you is to work slowly and methodically and above all cleanly. There are a few tools that you're going to require to do log transfers, so I've got a little bit of a list together here coming up shortly just before we get into the actual transfer. So I hope you enjoy it, and yep, let's crack on. Okay, so a few tools you're going to need. Log splitting wedges. Okay, I like these ones here. These ones, they're just from Bunnings, nothing special, because they're nice and tapered. They've got a really thin wedge on them. They do other ones there that are considerably thicker and they're useless. You need a really nice thin wedge. Pretty cheap. I don't know, 15 bucks for a pair of them or something weird like that. A decent hammer, lump hammer. Some, depending on where you live, they're called pinch bars, demo bars, wrecking bars. I recommend one long one and one slightly shorter one. Chainsaw, optional, depending on what sort of condition the log is in. Some people say if you need a chainsaw to open your log, then you shouldn't be opening it, but you know, each to their own. I certainly won't need that guy today. This log here is pretty much going to fall apart all by itself. Got this strap up here that's actually holding it together at the moment, but we shall see how we go. Alright, you should also have a tarp. You lay your log down on your tarp. You don't work on the ground or on the grass. On a bench is far more preferable. And when you do open the log, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to have some termite dirt in there or mud. So I always like to have a just a dustpan and brush. Actually, that's a bit ordinary. Get my shadow out of the way. A dustpan and brush there just to brush off the tarp so you're not trying to work the bees in amongst the termite rubbish. All right, let's crack her open, eh? All right. Look where we'll go. A couple of suitable cracks. Move on to our pry bars. Got him. So we've got it apart. It's not a terribly big colony. It's quite small actually, so there's our brood. A little bit of food above it, a little bit of food below it, but the majority of this log is just dirt. Above and below, so we'll get into it. So the next stage is to just start vacuuming bees. A really good bee vac is absolutely mandatory when you're doing any form of transfers, whether it's from a rotten box to a new box, or a water meter pit to a box, or a log to a box like in this case here. You must recover as many bees as possible. And without a bee vac, you've got no chance of doing that. So, yeah, it's a long process. There's no easy way to do this. You just have to work slowly and methodically, and hope the bees don't chew you to bits. All right, we'll keep going. Okie doke. So we got the brood out. It was actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I had to trim the bottom bit off that involucrum there to actually fit it into the box. So I'm going to throw a picture up of the advancing front shortly. I'm just pointing to it there, and yeah, got her in the box and carried on. Just put the box back up here in the position where the log was. Got bees absolutely everywhere, but yeah, they're starting to find home again. Meanwhile, all right, folks, we are done. So that took us 2.5 hours to do that. Just 2.5 hours, 2 people, solid vacuuming, and we've got 2 solid bottles of bees. So yeah, we'll transfer these into the hive and see how they go. That's just some epic bee numbers. Awesome. Alrighty, so this is the colony 1 week later. Pretty impossible to see in there. They're just covering the viewing panel with resin that they'll need to rebuild. But they're just absolutely smashing. Happy with that. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch ya. Okay, and just on a side note with this transfer, guys, we were left over with a really big chunk of stores that was full of bees, and you're never going to get those bees out of those stores without doing or making a heap of mess and causing a tremendous amount of damage. So basically what we did is we just put that big chunk of stores into another box, and what we're hoping for is that there'll be a princess in those stores. They like to hide out in the stores, saves them being killed. So these guys have been in here for a week now. They've done quite a bit of building. Got some new food pots appearing there. Bee numbers are not massive, but certainly sustainable enough. So yeah, now we just wait and see if there is a princess in this box. And these guys are happily coming and going from this box here, so you never know, we might get lucky. And here's a little bit of footage of the original box that's got all the brood and everything in it. You can see they're charging. So that's a wrap for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Be good to yourselves.